As President Trump threatens military action against another country, this time Nigeria, saying, and I quote him, "If we attack, it will be fast, vicious, and sweet." CNN is learning what sparked Trump's ire against Nigeria. It came down to a segment on Fox, and Elena Trine is out front live from the White House. And Elena, pretty incredible that that would be the case here. What have you learned?
Yeah, well, what I was told, Aaron, from two sources who are familiar with how this all happened, was that the president was headed to Florida on Friday. He was watching Fox News on the big screen, and essentially he saw this segment that Fox was doing on how Christians were being targeted by Islamic groups in Nigeria. And very quickly after that, one of the sources says it was immediate that it sparked some anger in him, and he began to inquire about it, asking his staff to be better read on it. But what was interesting was that shortly after he had touched down on Air Force One, he had just taken the Beast, his presidential motorcade, to Mar-a-Lago, is when you saw that first post from him. And it read, quote, "Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria. Thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for this mass slaughter." He went on to add that he wants to make Nigeria a, quote, "country of particular concern." Now, what was interesting about this is, of course, for anyone who was paying attention to his Truth Social over the weekend, this became a major focal point of hers on Saturday and Sunday as well. He talked about potential military action in the region. And he was also asked directly last night when he was flying back on Air Force One if that could mean potential U.S. boots on the ground or strikes in Nigeria. And the president did not rule it out. But I will say, Aaron, in one of my conversations with people in the Trump administration, they essentially told me that a lot of this is the president making threats to see how Nigeria will respond. One of them said it was a, quote, "art of the deal" type of strategy that he is deploying here. And they've tried to argue that in some ways it's working. You know, the media is giving more attention to it. But all of this comes, as we know as well, that the Pentagon, the president had directed his Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, to look into this. They have begun moving now some personnel back to the region after they had told them to leave essentially a year ago. And so we have to see where this could all lead.